Okay, we are beginning Chapter 7. Chapter 7, and we're starting on la página 246. 246. Do remember, please remember that you do need to write all the words down in the vocabulary list, which is on page 262 and 263 in Spanish and English. Okay, we're into the past tense. We were talking about a little bit the previous chapter, but now we're getting into it very hard and heavy, and this chapter's mainly over the past tense, the preterite form. They call it the preterite. We call it the preterite. That's our English word. It's el pretérito. In Spanish, you don't care, do you? No. Okay, it says por la mañana. Like I said, we're on 246. At the top line there says por la mañana, in the morning. Por la mañana. Me lavé el pelo. I washed my hair. Now all of this is in the past, things that I did, my past experiences. Me lavé el pelo. Desayuné rápidamente. I ate breakfast quickly. Salí de casa. I left the house. All right, in the next little thing. Asistí a la clase de biología. I attended biology class. Tomé café con algunos amigos. I drank coffee with some friends. Escribí un informe para la clase de química. I wrote it's like a paper or a report for chemistry class. Then it says por la tarde, in the afternoon. Volví a casa a las 2. I returned home at 2. Almorcé con mi mamá. I ate lunch with my mother. That sounds late, but in Latin America, they usually eat between 2 and 4, and it's usually their big meal, so they would not use almorcé, which is to eat lunch, and they don't even use that in Mexico anyway. They would say comí, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Trabajé por 4 horas en una tienda de ropa. I worked for 4 hours in a clothing store. Tienda de ropa. And then anoche, last night, what did I do? Cené con mi familia. I ate dinner with my family. Leí un poco antes de acostarme. I read a little before going to bed. And then me acosté temprano. I went to bed early. Okay, moving on, move over to 264. Page 264, more about past actions, the preterite of regular verbs. Some are regular and some are irregular. I mean, they show the box of the regular verbs, but they still talk with irregular. This illustrated grammar point says, ¿Qué hicieron Nacho y tú ayer? What did you and Nacho do yesterday? Well, hicieron is irregular, but they're going to start talking about regular verbs here. Well, okay, right here it says, Primero fuimos al zoológico. First, we went to the zoo. Remember how last week I talked about the verb ir, and I was like, oh, I can't find it anywhere. Well, it's in the blue pages of this chapter. I found it. So we went, that's irregular also. We went to the zoo. Y luego dimos un paseo por el parque. Later on, we went around, or we took a stroll around the park. Por la noche vimos una película y después cenamos en un restaurante chino. It says, at night, we watched a movie. Vimos is the past tense of to ver, to see. We watched a movie, or we saw a movie. And after that, we ate in a Chinese restaurant. Okay? Okay, look at the bottom. It says, Estela, ¿qué hicieron los niños ayer? Estela, what did the girls do yesterday? And she says, pues Amanda pasó el día con sus amigos. She says, well, Amanda spent the day with her friends. Ellas fueron de compras. They went shopping. Ir is the weirdest verb in present tense and past tense. They went shopping. Guillermo y Ernestito jugaron al fútbol. Guillermo and Ernestito played soccer. It's not football, it's soccer. And sometimes, half the time I say football anyway. En el parque, at the park. Y luego Ernesto los llevó a la heladería. Oh, heladería. Heladería, the ice cream shop. Y los tres comieron helado. So she says later on, Ernesto took them to the ice cream store. What do you call that? Ice cream shop, ice cream store. And they ate. I'm trying to think of what we call it. What do we call Brahms? Place for ice cream? I don't know. And the three of them ate ice cream. So, okay, now look at the top of page 265. 265, 265. Those are the present tense the present tense preterite forms. Not present tense, it's past tense. What I'm trying to say is these are the regular verbs in the past tense. Regular, not present. Forget present. Talk about regular. So here's hablar. I spoke, hablé. Yo hablé. You spoke, tú hablaste. He or she spoke, él or ella habló. Now don't, in the present tense, I speak is hablo. There's a difference in accents. It's hablo, and this is habló. You have to say it right, or else you're saying, instead of saying he spoke, you're saying I speak. So that's important. Nosotros hablamos. That's the norm. That's the same as in English and Spanish. Hablamos is the same. So you just have to read it in context. Are they talking about present tense? Or it's kind of like the word read. I read a book every day. I read a book yesterday. It's spelled the exact same way. It's pronounced differently, but if you're reading it, you're not sure. You have to look at context to see what it means. So hablamos is the same in present tense and past tense. So that means we spoke. Hablamos can mean we speak if it's the right context. Okay. Then the ustedes in the ellos or ellas form, hablaron, A-R-O-N, is they or y'all spoke. Past tense. Same with comer. Comer, in the middle, we're at the top of page 265 if you're lost. Comer, yo comí, I ate. Tú comiste, you ate. Él or ella comió, he or she ate. Nosotros comimos, we ate. Or ellos or ustedes comieron, y'all ate, or they ate. Then escribir is to write. Escribí, I wrote. Escribiste, you wrote. Escribió, he or she wrote. Escribimos, we wrote. And escribieron, they or y'all wrote. Note the following details about the difference between present and preterite forms. The stress is always on the final syllable in the yo form, in the I form, or the he or she or usted forms. The stress is at the end. For example, usually I get up at 8, but yesterday I got up at 7. Generalmente me levanto a las 8, pero ayer me levanté a las 7. Two forms of the preterite do not end in S like they do in the present tense. Normally you call me at night, but last night you didn't call me. Normalmente me llamas, por la noche, pero anoche no me llamaste. Though both present and preterite third person plural forms end in N, it is always R-O-N in the preterite. So usually my parents go out very little, but last week they went out 5 times. Por lo general, usually, mis padres salen un poco, pero la semana pasada salieron 5 veces. All right, notice that the present and preterite nosotros forms are different in ER verbs. Now, they're different in the ER, but in the AR and IR forms, they are the same in present tense and past tense, which I just went over, so I'm not going to go over it again because I'm afraid I'm going to run out of time, because I always do. Go to the next page. It's important. If the stem of the ER-IR verb ends in a vowel, like leer, the I of the IO and the IERON changes to Y. It's just, it's one of those weird things, like leer, to read, and oír, to hear. Both of those change, and here are the forms here. The second to the last ones, cross those out. That's vosotros. So there's leí, I read. Leíste, you read. Leyó, he or she read. Leímos, we read. Cross out the next one. And then leyeron, they read a story. Like, you know, they read a story or they read something. And then CAR and GIR and ZAR forms change, and there they are. Buscar is to look for. Llegar means to arrive, and almorzar means to have lunch. And it shows you the forms. The second to the last ones in the line are vosotros, so you can cross those out because we don't care about those. All right, you are going to do exercise 1. You're putting these in order. I'm going to help you tremendously right now. I'm helping you if I can hurry. I'm going to tell you what they all say. So you just put them in order once you know what they say. So look at exercise 1. The first one says leyó el periódico. I know what these mean in English, and I still can't figure what order they should go in. So maybe you can figure out better than me. Leyó el periódico. And if you know, if you're like, wait, I'd read before I ate or something, I understand that. But of course, you know, getting up at 7 is probably going to be one of the first ones. And then one of the last ones will be something like, I don't know which one it's going to be, but we'll see. So here we go. So the first one says, leyó el periódico. This is what Adriana did. It's she, not he. I don't know why I'm saying he. So she read the newspaper. I guess this is what she does in the mornings. So she read the paper. Then llegó al trabajo a las 8:30. She arrived at work at 8:30. Desayunó cereal con leche y fruta. She ate cereal with milk and fruit. Se bañó. She bathed. Comió una hamburguesa. She ate a hamburger in the morning. That's probably one of the last ones there. Se levantó a las 7. She woke up or got up at 7 o'clock. She got up at 7. Almorzó con un amigo, not amiga, un amigo. She ate lunch with a friend. Manejó el coche a su trabajo. It doesn't say a su trabajo, which is what I want to say. It says al trabajo. So she drove her car. Manejó el coche al trabajo. She drove her car to work. And then se puso la ropa, or se vistió, which is she put on her clothes. She dressed. So you need to put those in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe there are 9. I'm not sure. Okay, so do that. And that is all for this first part. I'm kind of cutting these shorter because I just don't have enough time to put everything I want to on one video. So adios. We'll be doing more stuff in a little bit. Adios.